Valentine's Day. The streets were crowded. Music could be heard from the restaurant decorated with roses, balloons, and large red hearts. The boys and girls were all well dressed. She was seen in a variety of sensuous poses. It was a day different from all others, as it was Valentine's Day, a day when lovers get a chance to express their love. Nina, hiding behind the curtains of her window, watched the couple walk in love with each other. He knew that there could be no one to love him because he was handicapped since childhood. But did anyone realize that she could love like anyone else and have all the natural desires and instincts of any other girl her age? She used to dream of giving birth to her beloved child, but it remained only a dream. Nina Roy was second in the family. She was a beautiful child. He looked so chubby and cute that when his mother took him to the park, all the passers-by would twitch their cheeks. But as he grew up, his parents noticed that he was an introvert and did not like to interact with people. When he reached the stage of going to school, it became a problem for him that due to his reclusive nature, whenever he had to talk to people, he stuttered and stuttered. The first year of school became a difficult test for him. He had to face a lot of derision and ridicule. His players used to laugh at him. They bullied him so much that at one point he even refused to go to school. It was impossible for her parents to make her understand, as little Nina had suffered a lot of emotional abuse from him. She would just shut herself up and burst into tears. Then Nina's parents arranged for her education at home. He asked the school if one of the passed-out students could tutor him at home. It was Nina's good fortune that a bright boy volunteered to teach her. The student named Pranav was of very kind nature and was very much interested in doing the job after hearing about his problem. Also, this money will help them to continue their science studies in a good college. So it was that Nina was taught at home by a very conscientious tutor till she passed her ISC exams with record marks. Meanwhile, Pranav also managed to pass out from the medical college. Although he was younger, he always maintained a proper teacher-student relationship with Nina. He encouraged and supported her, not that he didn't shower her with all the affection needed to bring her out of her shell. But Nina in her heart begins to worship her teacher, who knows so much about almost everything. Not only this, he was so kind and gentle with her, so patient and considerate. He felt love in his teenage heart but told himself that he would have to suppress his budding love because he could never expect love in return. No man would be proud of a woman who talks the way he does. This becomes very heartbreaking for the child, and she often expresses her pain and sorrow by crying in the privacy of the toilet. There was no hope in his life. She could never put the man she loved in her arms. She could never tell him that her heart was overflowing with love for him. It was a sheer disappointment with huge disappointment. He had no one to call his own. How she wanted to lay her head on his broad shoulders and cry her heart out. It was like a dormant volcano on that special Valentine's Day when Nina stood looking at all the happy couples, holding hands, laughing and joking. Her patience broke. He couldn't take it anymore. In a wild emotional outburst, he wanted to end it all. What was the meaning of living without the ray of happiness? Day by day the yearning for Pranav was tearing her young heart to pieces. He bled and suffered, but no one had any idea of his pain and suffering. When Nina opened her eyes, she saw that her parents were looking at her with concern. Pranav was also there. He reached the spot after hearing about his hospitalization. He was saying something to his parents which at first he could not understand because it sounded like a distant hum. The word means slowly. He completed his doctorate and became a speech-language pathologist. He would treat Nina and was sure that within 3 months she would overcome her disability. He also got an offer as a specialist and consultant in one of the best hospitals in UK. After giving this information, he hesitated a bit and asked his parents if he could spend some time with them. Pranab kept looking at Nina for a long time. That gaze was full of tenderness and was dripping with love. He then confessed to her that he did not have the courage to ask for her hand because he was distant and aloof. He always loved her very much. He was not the one to groom her and make her from an insecure young girl to a young woman. At first, he loved it the way a gardener loves his flow problems. But when she turns out to be a nice, attractive woman, he falls in love with her. But being her teacher and he a student, she could not tarnish the image of this noble relationship by expressing her feelings for him. He is now asking her to marry him as he is going abroad and does not want to leave her. This of Nina once again started crying bitterly. It was a very explosive announcement material. Nina reached out to him and whispered, "Happy Valentine's Day, love." Soon he got his hands on it. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel.